The pig reveal makes me so uncomfortable.
Is that what you did?
It's so disturbing to me. I don't know what about it, but I hate it.
Well, it's
I'm
like
that's
squeal he does at the end where he's like he can't even move. He's like,
well,
I hate it.
It's borderline.
It makes me. I'm so scared. I don't know why.
It's borderline horror though.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
why?
you come back and your parents are literally changed.
Yeah.
Which is what. To my mustache tastes like limes. Welcome back to the big room. We watched an anime.
We did.
Oh, did we?
Finally.
Yes, we got our katanas and our kimonos and other horrible stereotypes, and we watched Spirited Away.
We did.
The seminal, apparently, Studio Ghibli.
It is the highest rated
Ghibli?
one.
Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? Who cares?
Well, I asked Google, and Google said Ghibli, but then I watched a YouTube video, and it said Ghibli. So I don't know.
We'll
trust
say
Google.
both. This is a real GIF GIF.
We'll go back and forth.
Where do you sit on GIF GIF?
GIF.
I used to say GIF is a bit, but GIF.
Carl?
I swore not to say it either.
Oh,
I
Taking
just
a
don't.
vow of silence. Yeah.
one of those videos.
You know those looping
that
motion
loops?
things?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
G stands for graphic. It's GIF.
Also, Jif is the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
But you don't go to the gym to work out. You go to the gym. So that's the argument I always heard. And used to really
Or a
piss me off.
giraffe.
How about giraffe? You made fun of me last night.
I would never do such a thing.
You did. You made
No.
fun of me because
I don't remember why.
it's because I mentioned that I put something on the TV and you're like, what the hell is that?
That's not what I sound like.
And I said, I've been watching old late night television clips. So I've been watching like really old Johnny Carson and Letterman interviews.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Okay. Wow.
Like the heyday of late night TV.
Who is out? Here's my thing. Who's out there looking up like Johnny Carson, 1987, 20-minute interview with NASCAR driver, whatever.
It was
Okay, so
I don't know.
in
Who's
the
watching
in
that?
the past 2 months, I've watched full episodes of old like original Conan,
yeah.
All right. Well,
and I watched Cher on Letterman.
How I got started was
The other night?
I got recommended a video of Johnny Carson on Letterman. And he like brought a
Wow.
shitty foldable desk because he was like, this is the only way I can do an interview now. And it was fantastic.
Nice.
And I watched, there's a live Rat Pack video you can find on YouTube of the Rat Pack like doing a charity event. And it's hosted by Johnny Carson. And he's like shooting the breeze with them and you know, jibbing and jabbing and hemming and hawing and other fun adjectives.
Nice.
Or verbs, and it was great. So I don't know. I'm just kind of in this bucket of, and then but what I keep getting as recommendations is the Late Night Wars from like 2007 or whenever, the Conan versus Leno,
Screw Leno.
and I could not care, and I don't want to start it because I know I'll really care, and I already subconsciously have
enough.
chosen a side. I was 12 years old when that happened. I was not watching late night TV.
Yeah.
what?
But for some reason, like in my heart of hearts, I know that I'm Team Coco.
Team
And I
Coco.
don't know why. But Leno just seems kind of like a knob. I don't know.
I don't really know what all happened. I just know that Leno took back the
Some
Tonight
slot-
Show.
Yeah.
The Tonight Show, right?
Take back the night.
Like the big show.
Was it the Big Show?
He retired. They gave it to Conan.
Oh,
And then
came
Leno
back.
was like, nah, I was just kidding. And then kicked Conan to the curb.
Oh.
So screw Leno. That's where I'm at.
I guess, yeah. Whatever.
Yep.
Leno now famous for blowing his own cars up and burning his face off.
Burning his
That's
face
cool.
off. But now Conan has a podcast that's really good.
Yeah, I want to watch it, listen to it, but I never have because I can't stop listening to Harmontown, the greatest podcast ever.
Late night might be dead.
Down, it's Harmontown.
I think late night's mostly dead because now it's just Jimmy Fallon like
No
fluffing
one's-
Donald Trump's hair and being an asshole.
Well, no one's watching it live anyways. Everyone's watching on YouTube.
I thought the other night when she made fun of me, it's just she wasn't feeling well, so 2 nights ago she wasn't feeling well, so she went to bed,
I did.
and I wanted to watch Colbert because of the current late night hosts. I feel like he's the only one remotely worth paying attention to because the rest are just panderers.
Yeah.
And John Oliver and Colbert.
I was about to say, have you ever watched Don Oliver?
I have not,
don't
but
know if he's
those
still
two.
going.
And maybe it's just because they're left leaning, and that's why I think that.
Well, yeah.
But the other two are just like, I just don't care about the Jimmys and Seth Meyers can.
Seth
Who
Meyers.
cares?
Does anybody watch Seth Meyers?
You know what's unfortunate? I really started to take a liking to Trevor Noah.
And now he's
right
done.
at the end
Yeah,
of
he's,
his.
he's doing comedy again, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, which is good for him. But
he is a great interviewer.
I only my only exposure to him was in 2020 when there was no anything.
Him at his house.
And it was just him at his house. And the problem I had with him is his writers, I felt like always took the joke a little too far. Like, you know, how Family Guy, they'll do the grabbing the knee bit where he's like, and they'll do it so long that it's funny. It stops being funny, but then it's funny again. They never went long enough. Or they went too long. So like for me, Trevor Noah's writers, and I don't think it's him. I think he's funny. I think he's very smart. Like him on him in writing, I think he's very clever and very intelligent person, and I like the way he thinks. But God bless his bits. They just went on just too long. And I kept being like, man, this Donald Trump impression would have been funny if he stopped it there.
I never liked his impression.
And he
anyways.
kept going, and he was always it's just
That was
too
everybody's
long.
Trump impression.
Frankly,
just went too long.
quite too long. And I didn't like it.
That was better than his,
Of course it was.
but not as good as Shane Gillis.
Nobody's as good as Shane Gillis's.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing I have on my notes pre-show is I've been eating cheese.
Oh, good. Good for you.
Instead of like making sandwiches for lunches, I've just been going and
He's
grabbing an
eating-
enormous block of cheddar and just cutting pieces off and eating cheese.
That's the move.
I had a slice of pepper
Get some
jack before
crackers.
this.
It's
Nice.
great. My dad used to. I remember
Yeah.
my dad getting like a block of cheddar out of the fridge when he's making dinner, just as a little snacky snack. So I've just been doing that. I've just been.
Some food while you make the food.
I've been ripping
Yeah.
up cheese. It's great. My bones are so strong.
We were hanging out the other night. You got up and just got a slice of cheese out of the fridge and just looked
Oh.
at me like, "Shut up! Don't judge
Oh
me."
well, that was a craft single. That's
Oh,
like
that's
the trailer
garbage.
trash
That's garbage.
Just a
version.
slice of cheese.
I just unwrapped a little thing and you pop it in your mouth. It's the best.
Eating a plain cold craft single sounds terrible.
Unbelievably good time.
No, I don't want that.
It's the best.
I don't want it. I just,
But no food
no.
looks as good as Studio
Good
Ghibli
segue.
food.
Oh, segue.
Should stop. I feel bad last week.
It's all planned.
We talked about our own bullshit for 30 minutes
That's fine.
and yeah, whatever. Worst trailer ever. I watched the trailer and it was stupid.
It just didn't give you
It's
anything.
like
It was
26
just
seconds
a few
long.
clips. Yeah.
And it was clips of the beautiful scenery, which my
was beautiful.
God.
Yeah.
I loved this movie. Thought it was fantastic. I'm not an anime fan. I'm not an anime fan. I love some anime. I used to have a shirt actually that says some anime.
How much anime?
I love like Dragon Ball, of course. I love Neon Genesis Evangelion, which ruined my life for 6 weeks because I couldn't stop thinking about it. I would love to do like a part if this podcast ever has like a 2-week span where Danielle's just in the ether. I want to make you all watch
can make that happen.
the entire Evangelion show and then the end of Evangelion movie, and specifically his reaction, Carl's reaction, I think would be delicious because the show kind of ends on a weird note because they ran out of money. But it's built to give you an existential crisis about life. And then the movie End of Evangelion does like really the third act of the show over again with renewed budget and changes some things. And
Interesting.
I was speechless. I'm still kind of speechless. It's one of those things you have to watch it. And then you're just in this little circle of people who've watched it and just, yeah, right?
All I know,
God. Oh, dude.
All I know from that show is one screenshot.
We will go no further because I just love. That was my bit before I had seen it. There's a really unfortunate Shinji moment in the End of Evangelion movie where there's a hospital bed involved and it's sad. And I didn't know the context. I just had this screenshot of his hand with. Yeah, and whenever David and Dan would talk about it, or David and Steven, I would send that screenshot. You mean this show? But no, it's really good.
But we're not here to talk about
No, we're not.
Evangelion.
And
No.
I'm not. I've also watched Girls und Panzer, which is a hilariously good anime about what if World War II tank fighting was a high school girls sport.
Nice.
That's really all the anime I've watched.
This is my first anime.
This is your first anime,
minus Kill Bill. 'Cause we all- I was- I listened back to
anime.
Minus the 5 seconds or 5 minutes.
It was
of,
like 20 minutes.
nope,
Yeah,
no,
15.
10.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
You guys are
10
bugging.
tops.
My only anime exposure is
This
I know. Well, I was gonna say Avatar, but it's not considered anime because it's Western. It's not
right
made by
even
a
though it's
Japanese studio.
sort
But
of in
it's
the style.
sort of in that anime vein.
And the
Avatar:
tradition.
The Last
It's got the trappings.
Airbender. Oh, it's so good. I've been
but-
watching that
But you
right now.
you like Kiki's Delivery Service.
I do. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I saw Kiki's
which
Delivery
is another
Service.
Ghibli film.
It was on the Disney Channel a lot growing up, so I have a lot of
Well,
nostalgia
the
attached.
Studio
to that
Ghibli
one.
at least has somewhat ties. I'm not sure if it's distribution, production, or what of Disney
Well,
Japan.
Pixar, and Pixar
Yeah, I was
was
surprised to
involved
see that.
in the dubbing of Spirited Away. So there's
Okay.
some Pixar Disney.
Well, there's a lot.
A+ dubbing.
Well, a lot of Carl, did you pick up a lot of familiar voices, especially if you were like a Nickelodeon kid?
Yeah,
like
but I can't remember the
so
guy's
the
name,
baby,
but he was at the Comic-Con
giant
here.
baby. When the giant baby actually
Hang on.
talks, what?
When I saw the baby, I immediately thought of Rugrats.
The giant
Oh.
baby, when the baby talks, is the little Pickles kid.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's the same voice actor.
Dill?
Not Tommy Pickles, but Dill Pickles is the same voice
It
actor.
had that like.
The what's the guy? Haku is Goofy's son from the Goofy movie.
Max.
Max. And oh god, what else?
He's in a ton of stuff.
Well, Lynn is
Megara,
Megara from Hercules, and
another
then,
one of my favorites.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's so good.
and
I love
Chichiro is Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot, and there's others too. Like one of the other more minor characters, it was another voice actress that's been in a million things. So yeah, just a stellar voice cast. Which was this. I hope they can't hear this. We might have to
Should I take this?
Can you take the donut away?
Listeners, I don't know if you can hear it, but our dog's been squeaking a donut incessantly for the last
We
like
have a
30
dog.
minutes.
I say that she has pautism. Her and her brother were both. So my parents have this dog's brother, and they were both removed
I don't know
from
what
their
to do
home
with
a
it.
little too early. So they
Mine
have
now.
some interesting behavior.
No.
And one of Elfie's things is she has to have something in her mouth when she feels like a change in environment. And we're in here. She hates it in here because I play Call of Duty and punch my desk real hard. So she's squeaking the donut. And
I don't know where to put
she
it.
has been squeaking the
Back.
donut for the entire run of the podcast, but that was a broken one that she had broken the squeaker on. And
Got a new
the
donut.
other dog finally dug all the stuffing out of it, so we had to get rid of the donut. So
Now we have a new one that she's yet to
this
bring.
is the third donut, and her ears are up, and she's furious.
She's very mad.
But what the hell
listen,
are we talking
you
about?
have to be
Voice
quiet.
actors. Let's talk
Voice
about.
actors. Shall we?
So the trailer sucked. Who cares? The beginning of the plot is there's a family moving. That's it. That's really the beginning. We get some.
Never
act-
told why or
No,
anything like that.
and I don't think it
Like,
matters.
Sounds like her dad
Yeah,
gets a
no.
transfer and she's worried about her new school and something every kid can relate to.
I
But
related.
it's very surface level explanation. It's like very. I
David
don't know,
said
they don't
that.
go really into detail.
David said that this is the most fantastical of the Ghibli films. Maybe not of the Ghibli films, but I said I kind of wish we had watched Totoro first.
Yeah.
And he said Totoro is more of a slice of life. It's less of that high fantasy.
Well, Kiki's Delivery Service is also a lot calmer.
This is
Like,
just.
It's a lot.
I mean, so the
Bananas.
It's
Yeah.
bananas.
should we quickly go through? So she's moving with her family. The scenery is amazing when they're driving through. Which, by the way, the dad's going 55 miles an hour through the woods in an Audi like a rally driver.
Yeah.
My first note is this is an American dad.
Yeah, which
I
is
can
funny,
get there.
because it's
Kill a
not
lot.
an American. And
I got a V8.
the one thing about dubs, I think, that
four-wheel
are
drive.
really hilarious. Speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah.
an American dad, is like. You've got these white ass people, and they're like, Chichiro, it's okay. And it's just like the most Japanese, like Yubaba, and it's like no one's name's Ken or Bill. Like, I really like the Japanese names, but with American accents, like they're like not normal, but you know what I mean. So then they get the dad's trying to get to the spot. He takes a shortcut because he misses a turn. I would have been in this situation because Daniel
You
would
would've-
be like left. No, I meant right.
Wow.
And then we would have been.
He's gonna blame me. This man has no sense of direction. It's
should
not
Be like,
my
my phone's
fault.
telling me. Oh wait, it's Apple Maps.
yeah,
And
exactly.
listen, Google Maps has gotten me lost. So
Nope, never happens.
Google Maps got her lost in
has.
Disney
Yes.
from a Disney entrance and broke my phone case, guys.
Oh no!
Oh,
Time for a new phone.
No.
It is almost time for a new phone for real. I'll fix that later. It's gonna bug me the whole podcast. So he misses a turn, so they have to go through this forest road. Then they come to like a, I don't know how you describe it, like a facade of a tunnel. So it's like not a tunnel. It looks man-made. It almost looks like a train, like
Like
when
a Wile E.
train has to
Coyote
go-
kinda.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, the dad's like, let's go through it. I want to see what's on the other side. And the mom's like, that sounds like a good idea, which is very unstereotypical mom.
Yeah.
Mom, like in an American-made thing. I like, normally the conflict is like the dad wants to do something and the mom's reasonable. But in this, the parents were gung-ho and the kid is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I really identified with Chichiro in this instance because I actually wrote down. Anyway, they wind. I'll get to what I wrote down in a second. They wind up going through this tunnel into what appears to be an abandoned amusement park, but that weirdly has functional food service.
I'm like, why would you eat food from a stall where there's no person? Everything else around you looks abandoned. Sure, let's just eat the food. This looks like a great idea.
So the dad's like
what?
classic dad, bloodhounded for food. So that's actually what drives him deeper. Is he smells food?
Ugh.
He's
Oh,
like,
true.
oh my god, food! I'm starving. He's like, we got credit cards and cash. Let's just eat the food. We'll pay when they get there.
They were never gonna pay.
The daughter's like, I'm out, and she starts exploring, like hesitantly exploring, like she's reserved about it. Exploring more of this thing, and she gets to this bridge and looks down, and there's a train, and she had heard a train, I think, in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And in fact, part of the tunnel looked like a train station. But
They thought they were chasing a train at one point.
right, and she's like, "Oh, the train's down there," and we learn later that's the train to like the Yubaba's twin sister's place. That's I think that's the train they took. And the parents are keeping eating. Sorry, my brain lost
happens.
brain power. She comes back to her parents, and they're pigs now, which is crazy.
Sure are.
Because they're, I guess it's a kind of a gluttony thing or something.
Like an
I-
ironic
Is
punishment.
that what that is?
Yeah, I think it's meant to be a representation of like gluttony and consumerism. But the pig reveal makes me so uncomfortable.
Is that what you did?
It's so disturbing to me. I don't
Yeah.
know what about it, but I hate it.
Well, it's-
and I just
The,
I'm like that's
squeal he does at the end where he's like he can't even move. He's like,
well,
I hate it.
You're
It's
like,
borderline.
"Ugh," you're
it
like,
makes
"Ugh."
me I'm so scared. I don't
It's
know why.
borderline horror though. because
that
it's
what
like-
it-
yeah,
why? I
yeah,
just-
you come back and your parents are literally changed.
Yeah.
Which is what like that's part of. And I'll tell.
It was like very Germanic folklore. I wasn't expecting that
Yeah?
taste. You know, like I
Okay.
didn't expect that kind of like the ironic punishment of it. I thought it was gonna be more traditional like Japanese stories, unless that is traditional Japanese stories. But it seemed very like Germanic and like
with the
don't
pig.
go through like with all the witches and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
It felt very like
So it
Lost
is
in the Woods, Hansel and Gretel.
I watched a video. It is, I mean, there isn't any like direct like Japanese ties, but there's a lot of like, because I don't think the director was, I think he played it all close to the vest, so people can assume like they're like, we think this represents this and that and this and that. But the director did have a thing for like pigs. Like I guess he often drew himself as a pig, so like that was kind of part of his art style. I might
Don't
be
you
saying
love
it
it when
wrong.
authors are weird like that?
Yeah, like I almost feel like, you know, as feet are to Quentin Tarantino,
Or
pigs
as
are
pigs
Or
to
as like tentacles are to like
I don't wanna say his
whatever
name.
the Cthulhu. What's that dude? Whatever that dude.
Lovecraftian.
Lovecraft, yes, H.P. Lovecraft. Like he's all very tentacly and squiddy and gross. I
That's
like
where
it.
I thought you were going with the tentacles.
I like it. Yeah,
Different way.
not in the Japanese medium
Yeah.
of tentacles in people in certain ways. No, H.P. Lovecraft. I just really like it when like directors or writers have like a kind of a call sign, like our signature thing. Like the pig thing is cool. I like knowing that. And my Lovecraft point and stuff, and definitely not hentai. Anyway, well, Jesus, I put my phone down and that has all my brain in it. The food looks good. Who cares? Oh, I said this would never happen to me. I never explore anything.
yeah.
And that
You
ended
see
up
the
being,
tunnel and just get in the car.
well, that ended up being kind of the point. Is she's like a unwilling, you know, she's I don't know. There's definitely a word for this literary.
She doesn't want the
device.
adventure.
Resistant.
Exactly. She's hesitant.
forced into it.
Apprehensive.
Yeah. She like refusal of the call almost. So she's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. To bring up the
Reluctant hero.
the Harmon story circle in an incorrect way. So, she runs into this guy named Haku, who's like, "You're a human. What the hell are you doing here?" And that's our first cue. That's even before the
can
pig
just-
thing.
Yeah.
Smell humans,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, they
is a
smell like
thing
shit.
that spirits can do.
Hey, tilt your microphone towards your mouth.
Nope.
Okay.
they do that in Korra too, yeah. That the people don't smell good.
Yeah, and we learn it's like a whole realm. So essentially, she sees this bathhouse, and she's like, "That's a bathhouse," which is great to know because my Western ass was like, "What the hell's that building?"
That line was added for the American dub
Oh, nice.
because we don't automatically know what bathhouses are.
that was my first assumption. Is I don't know what that is. But it's a bathhouse retreat for spirits, right? Is that okay? And so it's a whole, like, even the food, like, we get a shot later of the food section is all for spirits, and that's why our parents got turned into pigs because they were eating food that wasn't for them. I really gotta stop drinking gin and tonics during these. I get so burpy. And Haku's like, "Hey, okay, you're like on this side of the river, so you're stuck here now. You need to follow me and like hold your breath over this bridge." And he basically has to smuggle her into the bathhouse, or they're gonna, I guess, kill her because she's a human. She's not allowed there.
Yeah, they don't really
Yeah.
make clear what they would do to her if they found her there.
What if they just kicked her out? That would have been best case scenario.
Well, her parents would have then been stuck.
oh,
right.
true.
So I think
She's-
it was find a way to
she's
stay.
Stuck there for a couple reasons.
Oh, no. They say that they're going to turn her into an animal.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she'd be a pig too.
Yeah.
Hey, Phoebe,
Speaking of animals.
don't have dogs.
Our dogs are not being cooperative tonight.
Not me. He said that. Look at him.
Pick her up or something.
But then Haku's other point was that like he had her eat food from the spirit world
So she
because
stopped turning invisible.
she started to disappear.
That's
so that was
right.
the other like thing he was like, here you have to eat something from this world so you
So
don't.
many
And
just.
she didn't want
There's
to
a lot
because
of little rules
she's
made up
rightfully
rules,
yeah.
explained.
Well, she's
Yeah.
rightfully freaking out, and
Yeah.
they seem made up, but again, we're entering a non-logical. You know, like we're in
Yeah.
the spirit world now, so of course there's different rules.
One of my notes for this movie was that it would be absolutely insane if this was live action. Same storyline.
Oh,
Oh my
don't
God.
even say that out loud because
No.
Netflix will do it. They'll try to do
Can
it.
you
No,
imagine, though?
It can't. You can't.
It'd just be grosser, which is a kind of a
I
point.
think it's
had.
just Labyrinth.
Gross isn't the right.
You're right.
Gross isn't the right word, but there's this air of like a unsettling whimsy. You know,
Yeah.
like it's
Disturbing.
whimsical, but it's not Western. And Danielle at one point was like, "The Japanese are weird."
I wasn't gonna say that on the podcast.
just because of all
Now
the
you have. Clip it.
well, you know, compared to our Western.
just compared to what I'm used to,
Like-
which is Disney princesses.
like yeah, like Jesus
you
Christ,
know?
compare this
Yeah.
movie. And Danielle wasn't sure if I was liking it at some point because
No.
we paused it for some reason. And you're like, "Are you liking this?" And I was like, "I am." Like I'm locked into this. This is great. And I was like, I just as a 28-year-old man, for the first time watching what is a kids movie,
Yeah.
this compared to like a Frozen, holy cow! Like this is so much more better to look at. It is more complex in the plot line. It's darker. Like in what Disney movie do you have dragons running around streaking blood all over a place because they've been beat up so bad and like they're gonna die? Like this movie got dealt so much closer with like death and mortality and it's just wild. I'm
Or
like,
even what Disney movie have you watched that you didn't immediately know the ending to?
right. Or was it like this was now I kind of knew how the
Well-
last puzzle was gonna go at the end, but you know, I don't
But
know.
through the movie, you didn't really know what was going on. Like,
I told her,
Boy,
I'm
did you
like,
not.
because at one point Yubaba kind of makes a face turn, when the slime monster comes in, and she's kind of like, "Hey, Chihiro, Chihiro, Jesus Christ, she made a cha-ching. She did a good thing. She solved the slime monster." And I'm like, "Is there an antagonist in this movie?" And in every Disney movie, you've got a big, strong villain, except for Frozen, because that movie is dog shit.
okay, we're not here to hate on Frozen.
The movie's bad.
Whatever, man.
And not even because the villain is men. I'm on board with that. That movie has no plot.
Men
He
are
loved
villains.
Barbie.
Barbie's
Barbie's
fantastic.
so good.
Yes, exactly. So that's not. I don't dislike Frozen because of misogyny. I dislike Frozen because I appreciate good writing. Which this movie had. Frozen sucks, and the songs aren't that good. Idina Menzel can suck it. You know what I don't.
That's too far.
You know what? You know,
Too
no,
far.
Too far.
no, here. You know
Too
why I
far.
don't like the songs? They're too modern sounding. So it's not really the fault of Idina Menzel. It's just when I want music in a thing. I want like Snow White or Cinderella. I want old school, like
You're in like an old kingdom.
right. I'm an old man.
Listen, Idina
Old
Menzel
soul.
is a little like she's overdone it. Like she's been out a lot. Like she's making an album, like a weird like pop rappy album that like feels out of place for her. But back in the day, we got to put the respect on her name for what she's done.
Movie's terrible.
I just had to say
What about the little soot
Speak my
balls?
piece.
Oh wait, before the soot balls.
I
So
love those guys.
the
Chihiro,
footballs. They're great.
Chihiro gets a job, which is the only way she's allowed to exist. Basically, she's got to get a job. So she signs a contract with Yubaba, who's essentially the antagonist in the film.
She's made of nightmares. Is what
Yeah,
she
she's.
is.
I mean, she's almost evil stepmother Cinderella-ish, but it's not
She's so
servitude.
Slash
it's-
witch.
Yeah, she's an interesting.
I mean, she steals your name so she can control you.
right,
that's
but
pretty
I guess I
scary.
mean.
Pretty toxic.
I guess
yeah.
I
Pretty
mean
Also-
toxic.
not directly evil because
Minus
she's
1
got-
hot point.
she has relatable humanity that they
Yeah.
keep out of.
Yeah.
Because I guess for Disney stuff, like you really want a yin and yang. You really want a black and white. You want objectively good and very clearly objectively evil. And in this, it's not. The lines are more fuzzy.
Yeah.
Which I really God, it's just really complex for a kids movie. It was great. If all kids movies were like this, maybe our kids would be smarter instead of these dumbass
If I
snot-nosed
saw
little
this-
iPad kids running around.
As a kid, though, I would have had nightmares 100%. Like,
But maybe you'd have less nightmares as an adult.
you think?
Maybe because you would have dealt with more mature kid themes as a kid.
Maybe. I was scared of everything. I think so.
If we ever have kids, their first movie is gonna be Gladiator. look, this guy,
300.
this guy's wife and son got crucified. Look at it.
Oh my God.
Good movie.
Here you
Are you
go,
not
children.
entertained?
Now go to bed.
Sleep tight, bitch. What were you saying?
I don't even remember what I was saying now. No, I think so. You said at the end of last episode that I hate this movie, and I.
Okay, that's not an egregious statement
stipulation
on
that
my
you only made
behalf.
it,
Well,
what,
I'm not
3/4 of the
saying
way
you
through?
were wrong.
Yeah,
What-
you had only made it 3/4 of the way through.
I had
before,
only
right?
made it
Okay, where's
three-quarters
your
of the way
cutoff
through.
point? Where was your cutoff point? Where did you go? That's enough for now.
Stop. I don't. You confused me now. I went into this movie knowing I did not like what I had seen of it because I had only seen maybe the first 2/3. I kind of remember when No Face starts to go on his rampage in the bathhouse,
Oh shit, yeah.
and I don't remember beyond that.
Oh no.
I enjoyed the Oh my God, that just totally threw me off. The last third of this movie kind of redeemed it for me. But the
okay.
first like 2/3 is so like unsettling
So
for
you just
me.
didn't watch far enough.
I didn't watch far enough. I knew it ended well, but just the whole like all of the struggle and the pig reveal and
Dude,
Yubaba stealing her
pig.
name like was just so unsettling to me.
The muddy spirit.
The muddy
like, just
spirit
how
freaks
gross
me
he
out.
was.
Everyone like, we can't smell you or we're gonna turn you into a pig. Freaks me out,
the
man.
like
I don't know.
middle 30 to 45 minutes of this movie is insane.
Yeah, it really with the mud spirit, like she was saying, really
Yeah.
really kind of goes off the rails. But that's the point where because she's trying to learn how to do her job. So she's she gets bathhouse duty. Her and
Lynn.
Lynn.
We like
Easiest name
Lynn.
to remember, and I couldn't remember it. Her and Lynn
Lynn
have
and
to
Sin.
clean like the grossest tub in the bathhouse, and then they have to learn like, hey, really, we need this kind of special water, and that's when we learn that the cool grandpa guy, what's his face, Kamaji,
We like Kamaji.
who's like the best character in the movie.
He's a G.
That's what he's doing with all the herbs. He's making the bathhouse water. It's his job.
I thought he was running a train for the first.
With all the soot people, and then the orders he's getting were from those token things, and No Face steals her the token, which is when I was like, oh, No Face is awesome.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping they would keep him awesome, and then they turn him giant. But all this stuff happens, and then just abject chaos when the slime monster comes in. And I wrote down at this point in the movie, wow, I've skipped so many notes. We're gonna have to go back. I wrote down, are they just never gonna explain the spirit dragon with a bicycle and 3 apartments stuck in his side, which is the slime monster? And then at the very end of the movie, I got it. Because so when the slime monster goes away, he turns into basically a dragon and floats off. He just goes, thank you.
Right.
It turns into a dragon and bones out. Now, we're skipping the end of the movie here. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But we're going to jump around. So Haku learns his name, right? His real name. And his name is whatever river. I don't remember. And he is a river spirit. He's a dragon. And that's when I went, oh my God, the slime monster was a polluted river, which is why it was like bikes and garbage. He was a pollution allegory.
Huh.
And I didn't even look that up. And then you looked it up, and I was freaking right.
You were correct.
Oh, nice.
Pollution. And you said that pollution allegories are like a big thing in anime, I guess.
Yeah. in
I would
Japan.
have
Well,
never.
my friend who's big into Japanese culture has told me that. So, like Godzilla, I think is a
Yeah, well,
Product of
Godzilla...
radioactive
Yep.
waste. And
Godzilla
stuff like
is
that.
a Hiroshima Nagasaki thing.
Really?
Yeah, he's a radioactive. He's a
Huh.
So I pulled that out. Quickly, things that we missed. When Lin is taking Chihiro up top to try to get the job, essentially, the roasted newt thing cracked me.
Was that just a lizard?
I think so.
And I wrote, I'd do anything for a roasted newt. It was just hilarious. I love the roasted newt thing. And then the soot balls and Boiler Man. Boiler Man's really a G.
I love that they eat little
he's-
stars.
Boiler?
Boiler
I
Man is
know.
out.
The big white guy?
No. That's the radish
Spider-Man.
spirit. That's the radish spirit. Kamaji with the long arms.
Oh,
Because
okay.
he's in the boiler room.
Yeah.
I didn't equate him to the spas at first. I just knew he was in a boiler room.
Yeah.
He's awesome because she originally has to ask him for a job before Chihiro gets hooked up with Lin. She asked him, and Haku's like, he's not going to give you one. You have to be insistent. And then that's when Lin comes in and it's like, that's a human. What the heck? And Kamaji, holy shit, these names, has to cover for her and is like, that's my
My
granddaughter.
granddaughter, yeah.
And he's a gangster. It's the best. It's so good. And
What a good
and
dude.
then he is like not Ben Kenobi-ish because she's not his apprentice, but he kind of serves as the old wizened kind of
Is he
guy.
Yoda?
Yeah.
Maybe, but like, he helps her out with Yubaba's sister and you got to take this token back to the thing. And oh man, like the story is really not convoluted, but there's a lot of characters and their names
I
are
would
all
use that
hard.
word.
And not all of them are in this outline. And
Okay.
No,
Do
there's
better,
a lot.
Carl.
I mean, there's a lot happening that they just kind of. It doesn't feel thrown together, but like it's also just kind of like a lot.
Yeah,
a
it
lot
feels
happening.
very-
like, yeah.
It feels very like specific, like not messy, but
Purposeful.
there's so much.
Yeah.
so concerned about this phone case.
You really
It's like
are.
the things that happen are random,
fixed
but
it.
the reactions to them are like reasonable or like
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the whole movie.
That's grounded, but everything else is like ridiculous, like
Yeah.
dream state.
I definitely thought that No Face was a person. Like at one point, I could have swore I saw a leg, so I was like, "Oh, he's got like a cloak on or something."
He
And
did
then
have
he
really
opened his
dinky
mouth,
legs
and I
and
went,
arms.
"Nope, that's a monster
Yeah.
demon thing."
And he's weird because he like just kind of walks around moaning. Yeah. Like it's so weird. Like it's gross.
Between him and that like bouncing heads,
And
they
then
were
but
making
the-
noises.
The bouncing heads were
No,
awesome.
yeah.
But then No Face like eats a frog person
yeah, it was
and
Yeah.
just has his voice for a while.
But
Yeah.
why was like what was the connection with him and Chichiro or like was it just the innocence?
She
Was
just-
it like because
So No Face
let him in.
is a different, and I don't fully understand. But what I grasped is he's a different kind of, like he's not a spirit, he's a demon or something like that. Like he wasn't supposed to be there, but she just saw. There's another weird
It's a
ass thing that's
spirit.
not
Right.
people.
Yeah.
I'll let him in, and No Face saw that as a kindness, so then he just kind of helped her out. But then started just
But there was even like
Eating
the
everything.
before that they kind of like noticed each other and there was just kind of like something there. So maybe that was just foreshadowing the.
I wish
moment,
it was
but, yeah, I don't know.
explained a little more why he was drawn to her. Like he could see her on the bridge when nobody else could.
I think that was the knowing glance, Carl. It was
Okay.
before anybody would have or should have been able to see her.
so.
But he's not a spirit like everybody else, so maybe
No.
there's a different connection with him there.
I don't know. The video that was breaking down like all the lore said that like he takes on whatever environments he's in. So like when Sen gave him kindness, he was kind. When he was
gave him
when he was
gluttony.
full of gluttony and greed, he became gluttonous and
catalyst.
greedy. Yeah. When he was with, oh my gosh, I'm gonna call her Granny because I don't remember.
Well, that's what they
Yababa's
call her.
The bird
sister
lady.
name. No, but the good one.
The
The
good
good
one,
The,
right?
the twin sister, she was kind and helpful, so then he becomes a product of his
Interesting.
environment.
Which I was really glad that No Face made that face turn.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was bummed out when he was being a I'm like, God, I thought, I'm like,
You're
people
better than
have
this, No
tattoos of
Face.
this guy? It
People
was
have
literally my
tattoos?
first thought. Like, I get the Totoro tattoos, but the No Face, because he was just being a fat, gluttonous monster. But no, then he was just groovy and helping Granny spin thread. It was awesome.
Which I was already confused enough. Did they have to make her an identical twin?
Literally, not even a different colored dress.
Yeah,
Like,
the exact same everything.
yeah. Why can't I remember her name? That's gonna,
Even the same.
I don't
Zaniba.
remember her name.
Zaniba?
Something like
Something like that. Something with a Z.
I don't remember any names.
that. Man.
Dragon Boy, little girl,
Dragon
Mom,
What
Dad.
what are we at
Little girl.
time-wise?
It's been 34 minutes.
All right.
Ish. Plus some, because actually, no, 34 minutes.
So I'm interested because I have anime exposure. I thought of more after my opener, so I've seen a bit, but I'm not a, I wouldn't consider myself like a weeb or like a actual anime fan. But this is your first exposure, so having only ever consumed Western media for your life, albeit not even a lot of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
What was your take on anime?
It was so.
Like as an animation style, as a narrative device, as everything.
I
As
said
a
this-
person who doesn't like it when voices don't match the lips.
Yes. So I said it as a joke, but my literal only anime experience was the 20 minutes of Kill Bill, and that was more of like a voiceover, two scenes like that weren't really moving that much,
It also isn't.
and that's what I expected out of this movie though,
Oh.
which was couldn't be more different.
I think this movie is. I think this, as a person who's watched more anime than just this is a great baby's first anime.
Yeah.
Because a lot of other anime is just more weird.
The mouths not matching didn't bother me.
Okay. And we all watched we didn't mention this. Well, we might have. We all watched the dub,
Yeah.
right, Carl?
I watched the sub first and then the dub.
Okay. I want to go back and
How
watch
was that?
the
Was
sub.
that?
I mean, there were some words that
Did
were
you
different.
prefer one
but,
or
I mean,
the other?
I like watching it subtitled first, just because the connotation comes through the right way, and then I I can listen to it, knowing where it is in the story, and kind of still see it. Like it's nice to you can't do that with the
Now,
like a
you're-
subtitle. You can't just play it in the background. You have no idea what's going on.
You're
So-
not a big anime watcher either, are you?
Not huge. I've seen Cowboy Bebop and
So
then,
have I. So
yeah.
But did you watch the dub of that? I'm sure everybody has.
I watched the
probably.
dub of that one. Yeah.
That is one of the rare dubs where the creators was like, "This is awesome." So there's, I tend to just go to Reddit and see. Like I think I watched Neon Genesis also dubbed. But I'm interested since you watched both. I find that the inflection can be very markedly different.
Yeah.
Japanese voice actors and actresses especially tend to be very high pitched, which is why I can't watch subtitled Dragon Ball because Goku's voice drives me nuts and Vegeta's voice too, because it's so high. It's a woman that does Goku's voice. So I don't know. It's just a lot of very high pitched, very fast talking, especially during emotional moments or moments of surprise or confusion. And that to me took a little bit to get used to. I'm interested in your thoughts there. As far as the line delivery between the two languages.
I mean,
Or did it not bother you at all?
it honestly, it was pretty it blended really well. I think listening to the dub, the subtitle in the first one, you get the energy from it. But then I think they really matched it in the English
it's-
dub version. It wasn't, nothing was oh, that wasn't right. It all seemed
Yeah.
pretty meshed
And that's
well.
where
So
that's where bad dubs can be awful and can really ruin a show or movie because they lose that emotion.
And it's probably easier to dub an anime than a live action. I watched Squid Game with a dub and it was awful.
Yeah,
But that's
probably. Probably.
Like matching their facial expressions and stuff is probably a little easier in anime.
You can mask it a little bit in the animation.
Yeah.
I tend to be a sub guy. I watch the dub because I think she wanted to watch the dub. And I had heard and read. I asked around friends of ours who had seen it, and the general consensus, even among Reddit, which never agrees on anything, was that the dub is really good for this, or at least decent. And I never had a moment of that voice line sucked or whatever. But they got like A-list ass dubbists.
I could have had Chihiro could have yelled a little bit less. There were several times I was like, "Stop yelling!"
Well, I mean, if you think that, then the
my
sub,
God.
man, the sub is probably
I just
probably
was
more.
like, "You're talking to this crazy witch lady. Don't yell at her. Stop yelling."
I find
Everyone's telling you to be quiet. Stop yelling.
find that the yelling is a little more grating in Japanese, especially during the early like call to adventure parts, where there's confusion or whatever, and we're learning the world and the stakes, and everyone's just like, it's like, wow, let's shh. But when you watch 20 minutes of something and you're totally locked in, so I think the sub would have been fine. I tend to watch the One Punch Man I've seen, I watched subbed. I watched, I actually started Dragon Ball Super subbed and then was like, not my Vegeta, and turned back to dub.
Not my Vegeta.
I watched Girls in Panzer subbed. I watched Neon Genesis dubbed. So I'm Cowboy Bebop I watched dubbed. So I'm kind of 50-50. But yeah, I would have watched the sub. I think I would watch this again subbed. But I enjoyed the dub. I had no qualms about the dubbing, as it were. But I am by no means an anime professional.
In fact, if I didn't wait until the night before we recorded to watch these movies, I would probably have watched this one twice.
Yeah, we did
Sub
it
and
last
dub.
night too.
Yeah. My hang up is always just my reading ability. Like I can't always, keep up with the show if I'm reading. So like it's nice to have the dub give clarity to those moments,
Well, we're
But yeah, usually
subtitles.
it's not too bad.
I've turned into a subtitles only person. Just because, for one, we're doing a podcast, I want to catch all the dialogue, and for two, a lot of movies, especially, are mixed for. I think Christopher Nolan is a real stickler about this. Like his movies are often inaudible because he mixes for like Dolby Atmos in theaters, and then his literal stance on it is "screw you, you should have seen it in the theater because that's how I designed it."
I mean, fair.
Yeah, but also suck my ass. I've got a Vizio television. I want to be able to enjoy this movie at home.
Samsung soundbar.
Yeah, I've got the shittiest soundbar money can buy. I want to be able to enjoy this movie too. So I'm just an old man that likes, and isn't that a millennial thing? Aren't there articles about this? How we're like the first like subtitle generation that's not like old and hard of hearing or something. Like I don't know. I haven't read them. I've seen headlines.
I've been headphones in watching movies since I got my Apple TV.
Oh, and
I
this
connect my AirPods and it's real good.
I feel like I would. I'm gonna get an Apple TV. Oh, I don't have AirPods.
You're not
I
gonna
mean,
get an
you
Apple
could do that
TV.
with your Chromecast too. By the way,
Really?
and it's just a Bluetooth connection.
Is there a delay though? No.
Not that I could tell.
Are you serious? I could have been not bothering you in bed for all
The
these.
TV doesn't bother me. The lamps bother me.
Oh.
So
TV
the
light
TV's
doesn't bother you?
fine. No,
Cool. What about when the TV's bigger?
we'll see. Jury's out.
I really want to get like a 70-inch for the living room and move the 55
Yeah,
into
me
the
too.
bedroom and move the 42 in here.
Can we talk about the orchestrations in this movie?
Let's talk about the music because at one point I think I wrote down this music is bitchin'. I think was my exact quote
Wow.
in my phone.
That's very profound.
I recognize one
Hey,
of
don't
those
really
songs.
remember.
I'm kind
What?
of I'm kind of like an orator. The famous poet once said, "The soundtrack be bitchin'." Go ahead.
Well, Nick was saying you don't really
I
remember.
don't recall any of it.
Are
Well-
you serious?
Carl, was the music memorable to you at all?
There was one song that I was like, I know this song, I know this tune, but I couldn't place it. So hopefully we
All right.
clear that
Well,
up after
so
this.
the two musicians and the dabbler picked up on the soundtrack. It just may not be.
Ah.
It wasn't distractingly bad, which may be
Right.
for you. It fit the mood.
It fit.
For us, we were like, "Holy crap!"
He's only got one ear
like-
anyway, so
That's true.
He can only appreciate half as much music as
Well,
the rest
and
of
we
us.
know Carl hates music, so
What?
I
Oh
hate
yeah. No,
musicals.
Carl hates
Hates.
musicals.
no. Well, he said last time he didn't like the music in
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti.
Well, yeah, he doesn't like 50,
When music and
One
movies.
song that was too on the nose.
Yeah, he doesn't like
Bringing
50s
a rock
doo-wop.
around the clock tonight. It's like, okay, we get it. Like,
No.
I've got a car and a girl and a car and a girl, and that's not for you.
it's like, all right, we get it. It was like exposition as music. I was like, this is so stupid.
That movie, boo.
I've always
movie is
loved these
boss.
scores. I'll put them on to work sometimes, and I mean, I
That was
played
surprising to me.
I
but
played
it shouldn't
violin,
be.
so I love orchestral music and the swelling and the emotion of it. I love so much.
There's something
swelling.
about orchestral music for me in Star Wars. Like,
Oh.
I can hardly listen to Leia's theme.
Everybody
Like,
take a shot.
We went to shut up. We went to I'm getting a Star Wars tattoo Saturday.
Oh my god.
I'm getting Padme on my shoulder. It's gonna be lit. When we went to a
Is that Danielle?
no, we
Yes,
went to a
it
yeah
is me.
cool headdress, Danielle. We went to a live orchestral John Williams thing.
We did.
Now our local orchestra. So, and I don't say that to degrade the quality of musicianship in our local orchestra. I say that to say that it's about
Go support your local orchestra.
100%. I say that to say it was probably a quarter of the size of the actual
yeah.
orchestra
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
used because the whatever symphony John Williams uses is massive.
The London Symphony.
But every time Leia's theme hits, I cry like a toddler. And I can't help it. And I'm not an emotional person,
Do, do, do,
but certain musical things, dude.
Triggers.
I'll get one of those shitty Spotify tattoos that links to that.
Let's get a QR code.
No, Leia's theme for me, like that's the, and so I get really orchestral music for me as well. Really can pull on the old this little stone heart, what little strings I have left. Music is the thing that can get me emotional, and it's always Leia's theme or old Patsy Cline songs. I'm kidding.
I mean, I listened to the Good, the Bad, the Ugly song 55 times this year.
Yeah,
so
that was your
I
number
feel
one
it.
Wow.
song.
The number one
That was
song
like
is the trio.
the face-off song
the
at the very
Mexican
end.
standoff. Yeah, I was like,
God, I
that
can't
song
believe you weren't there
is
for that movie.
So good.
Oh, I'm so
oh
sad
my
that
god.
That was a good movie. Although the
Don't care.
the
You should
part where
watch
they
it.
walk,
Nah.
they just kind of trounce
You'd like
up on a war and blow up a bridge. Everybody could have gone without that part of the movie. It was a bit.
That's when you get up and make a snack.
Yeah, that was a bit unnecessary.
I
Stretch
could-
your
I
legs.
watched that movie in the pitch dark in my living room with an oil lamp. I lit an oil
That's
lamp.
a good vibe.
It was great. I smoked in the house. I didn't. You've got something to say. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna make a segue, but you kept talking, so my segue is ruined.
Oh,
No,
I was gonna
no.
say I could have done without the baby plotline with the Spirited Away.
dude.
But it
It's
set
strange to me.
It weirdly set up her having her little rat and fly.
I really like the rat
companions.
and the fly. I just didn't like the giant baby.
and I
Why
liked it, but
and
the,
how?
the
Yeah, why? Like, why is
Wow,
he
I'm
huge?
stuttering. The baby,
Today, Junior.
the baby though had a face turn because when it turned into the rat,
Yes.
then Yakuza, whatever her name is, her twin
You-
was like, "Oh, that spell wore." Or no, the main lady, the spell wore off a million years ago. They can change back whenever they want. And they were both like,
Heck no.
because the baby had only ever known that room, and then all of a sudden it's a rat,
the whole
and it
world.
goes with this villain character to her, and or him or it, and it was great. So, no, I really liked that.
The baby is Rapunzel.
I don't get that reference.
Oh, I get it.
You
No,
don't
I
know
get it.
Rapunzel?
I get it. Watch
At all?
Tangled. Tangled is
Okay,
a
but
goodie.
Rapunzel predates Tangled. It's just
Right,
like
right,
a-
but he's not reading the Grimm's fairy
basically a
tales.
witch steals a baby and locks her up in a tower, and her hair grows really long.
and
so
she's
then-
never left
You
the
don't
tower.
know the main plot?
like-
no, this is all new. Tell
Are
me.
you serious?
Oh my
Well,
god.
So she has to let a prince comes to rescue her, and he's like, Rapunzel, let your hair down. So her hair has grown so long in the tower that she lets it down out the window, and that's how the prince climbs up.
And then it's
Yeah.
like, hey, there's a whole
Oh,
freaking world out there, and she's like, no, and then she leaves, and it's great.
Yeah,
No,
That's some strong hair.
the next
it's really strong hair.
next year's list is just gonna be Disney movies.
Disney movies that Nick
for
can watch.
Nick, starting with
David's gonna fill
Cinderella.
in for me for the entire
No,
year.
because you're the one who hasn't seen them. You tried to watch Hook without seeing Peter Pan first.
That's why.
I still haven't seen Peter Pan.
Holy crap, Peter Pan's good.
Hook's a great movie, though. I wonder what happens.
Wonder how that story ends.
Should we wrap up our opinion segment and move to hit, mit, or miss? Anybody got any?
I
final
assume
thoughts
there's
on this
no
movie?
hot points.
Are there?
Oh no, there's no hot points. Nobody's hot.
Nobody's hot.
I mean, Haku's
Spirited Away. No one's
Oh,
hot.
real quick. it's insane, and we kind of made this point earlier in Fragments. Insane that this is a kids movie with a bleeding dragon and a bunch of dark themes and stuff.
It's
just
pretty dark.
it's intense.
It's a lot.
I don't know. We made this point earlier, but I don't know why
don't know.
Haku made me bring up the dragon blood everywhere. It's just
Dragon
also
blood.
thematically, like the dragon in Sleeping Beauty is scary enough on its own.
She's pretty scary.
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Which Maleficent 3 is coming. Which why?
What?
Why?
No one's asking for that.
And Angelina Jolie is back with her sharp ass jaw.
I almost said Jennifer Lopez. That's a different person.
Incorrect. What if Maleficent had a wagon and some seasoning?
That'd be pretty good.
Seasoning.
It'd be better.
Jin's gone, so let's wrap this up.
Did you guys think it felt like it was from 2001?
I don't know what that means.
I felt like it was older for some reason. Like maybe I'm
Ooh.
just used to watching older,
Like
especially
90s?
recently.
I had a similar but quite different reaction. I thought when I looked up this movie date, I was like, oh, 2001, cool. And I expected all Ghibli movies to be around this, but Spirited Away is from 88.
What?
Do you mean Totoro?
My Neighbor Totoro is from 88. Spirited Away is from 01, but Totoro is the other one I really want to see, and that one's from 88, so quite a bit older. But
Yeah, I think in
really
my head it
like-
was late 80s, 90s.
these old Cinderella movies are old as hell. Like
Yeah.
Cinderella, like 50s?
Yeah, Cinderella's 50.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, Snow White was 37.
Yeah. Wild. Before
Boom.
we had color TV, we had Snow White and
Yeah.
they should
and shit.
remake that one.
They
No.
so many times.
Leave it all alone. Stop
I'm kidding
it.
because
Don't
there's
you
so
like
much
the- you
backlash
like the
on that
live
live
action?
action right
So
now.
much backlash.
You like the live action Cinderella, but not the Disney one, the old one.
Are people still mad about
Ever After?
Ever After.
Ever After's so good. It is the best live action Cinderella adaptation.
Isn't the fairy godmother
argument.
Whoopi Goldberg?
No, that
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 sounds
is
That's the one I'm
Brandy and
thinking of.
Hammerstein's Cinderella,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
also fantastic.
Yeah. Black Cinderella.
No, it's Whitney Houston.
Whitney
though.
Houston. Oh,
Whitney
shit.
Houston is the fairy godmother.
I'm sorry,
That is
Whitney Houston
Black
and,
Cinderella
and
is
Whoopi
great.
Goldberg.
It's not Whoopi Goldberg.
I don't know.
Whoopi Goldberg, I think, is the prince's mom.
Okay, she's in the movie though.
Prince's mom.
Yes.
She's in the movie? Not racist. She's in the movie. Not racist. Oh my God.
I think she's the mom.
That was close.
Almost
That was
had
too
to like
close.
volunteer at a soup kitchen for a second there. Holy shit.
See, we
Oh,
already
geez.
had good live act Cinderellas.
I think
We
Whoopi
didn't-
Goldberg.
Are people still
is
mad about
awesome.
Little Mermaid?
I think
Or is
it's,
that over?
I think we've moved on.
Were they
All
ever
right.
really mad?
Oh, they were mad.
The cancel culture
No.
community mad at another thing and then moving on because nothing they actually think matters.
I just see what's just not online outrage. Like, does anything really
Yeah.
manifest
Everyone
in the
hates
real
something.
world?
No, the only thing
Yeah.
that manifests in the real world is people are mad about how gas and groceries are expensive, and I'm with them.
yeah.
It is expensive out there.
Hit or miss. For me, this movie is a freaking slam dunk hit. I loved it. Loved it. I want to see more Ghibli
I want
Snibbly movies.
you to watch Kiki's Delivery Service because
Yes.
that's one I love and I want you to experience it. And my next one I'm going to watch is Howl's Moving Castle.
I want you to go last because I think your opinion will be the most interesting because you had seen. Oh, did you? You never said where you cut off.
Yeah, she did.
What did she say?
2/3.
I feel like
No,
I
what part? Like, what was happening? At what point of the plot were you like and turned it off?
no, so I watched it with a friend really late at night. So I think
Danielle,
I fell
probably?
asleep. Yes.
Okay,
My friend
so
Danielle, if you're
what was the-
listening to this, hi.
She's not.
I'm going
She's
to
in
tell
this
her.
one.
She loves this movie.
What
so
what
she might
what
listen.
what was the last thing you remember though?
I don't really. I just remember the sequence. I remember the stink monster. I
Okay.
remembered, I think, No Face being crazy.
So really, like you
so
watched
I
first and
don't
second act.
have a solid remembrance of anything past
Okay.
that.
Let's
So,
do Carl second
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I think Nick and Danielle. No offense to you and I, Carl, are the most interesting opinions here.
That sounds like a
Carl, you don't
compliment to
matter.
me.
Go next.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Well,
I think he just never mind.
No, I'm just.
Look at
He's
that.
never seen an
Another
anime.
consequential hit.
And yeah. No, what are you? What are you?
no, I think it's a hit. I think it starts off kind of like just the family trip, and then goes, "Holy shit, what the fuck is going on?" And then
Right.
it just kind of keeps ramping up, and then I still have questions, but like even the river, him being like a polluted river, I did not put that together. So there may be a lot of stuff like that I'm just not getting. So it's a deep movie.
It's a deep
Yeah,
for a kids movie. Wow.
It's a treasure trove of allegory.
So 2
really
hits.
is.
This really lies upon the shoulders of the last two.
Well,
Nick's
I'll say
like, "I
this.
didn't get
I'll
it."
say this. No. I two things. One, I thought I was going to be distracted by the fact that it was an anime.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Absolutely sucked into it, beginning to end.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to say
Nice.
absolutely sucked.
Absolutely
I
sucked.
thought I was going to be distracted by an
Absolute
anime.
trash.
Absolutely sucked.
I said I had two things. I don't remember what the second one is.
Was it the circumstances in which you watched it?
Oh no. I was. I also. Well, yes.
Nick was inebriated when he
Take your
watched this
vitamins.
movie.
Oh.
I expected, and it might have just been because you guys. I expected to have like a takeaway from it, like I try to with every
Well,
other
it's
movie.
a kids movie though.
But there wasn't. I didn't. It was just fun. But I'm gonna give it a hit.
All right.
Wow.
Thank God.
It's a banger.
That's a good movie.
Certified big room
It's
banger.
a good movie. All right. So you're the most interesting opinion, and you've sat there patiently while I go on about a dumbass about this movie and talk about blood and
Blood.
and newts.
Roasted news.
Newts.
and pollution and whatever else. But you know, it's my show. Suck it. So no, I'm most interested in your opinion because you had a prior experience, not really to anime. You don't like it. But to this movie, you have the most Ghibli experience of the rest of us. And
I
you
do.
didn't
I've
like
seen
this
3.
movie on the first pass.
No.
So what's the third one you've seen?
The Cat Returns.
You hate that one,
Which
too,
was
then.
really weird.
Where did you land after seeing 2/3 of the movie again and then finally finishing it?
So I want to explain after I say. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a begrudging hit.
Okay.
Crunching it.
I like the
Because
begrudging.
I have to appreciate it for like what it did for animation. It's gorgeous. The score is amazing.
Food looks
the
delicious.
storytelling, like everything had a purpose, even though it was like so much. Like it all had a purpose. And the fact that it makes me feel so disturbed means it's did a really good job.
It's working.
Like when
It's working.
Chihiro is stressed, I feel her stress, which is why I don't like to watch it because I'm like, this character is stressed and I'm stressed because I think I see a lot of myself in her because I was a very scared
I
child.
see myself in her as well for the same reason. I
And,
was
like-
very apprehensive as a kid and adult.
Yeah, I had a lot of nightmares about something happening to my parents as a kid.
Oh.
So I feel like because I related too hard, like I relate hard to her and just those fears of like, what's happening to my parents? What do? I don't know what to do. Like, that's why I think the first half is such a hard watch for me.
Right. So it's not that it's a bad movie.
No.
It hits too close to home.
I think it does for me.
But that made you dislike it, which is interesting.
It's just, I don't like things that
You had
make
a
me feel
visceral
stressed.
reaction to it.
Yeah.
I guess. So it was like a spider or something for you.
Yeah. I think, like the whole pig reveal horror, just, I don't know why it freaks me out.
Well, we'll eat a lot of bacon this week.
Yeah.
And heal you.
So I don't know, but like, I think because I have such feelings about it, like I have to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, it's done so well and it's so
It's
pretty.
a good movie. So you want to watch more Ghibli movies though, which is a good.
I think I do. I don't want to, this isn't one I would want to watch a lot because it stresses
No, we're
me
not going
out.
to watch this movie 6 times a year, but
Well, I know some people like,
Well, it's first of the month. We got to watch Spirited Away.
some people I think it's like a comfort movie. This is not a comfort movie.
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But
I mean, my comfort movie is Star Wars.
I think I could get into a comfort movie anime for sure.
Yeah.
If one exists out there.
I also
I've
like,
only really seen anime shows outside of this.
we should watch more movies.
Well, yeah, we have a show.
We have a
about
whole show about watching movies.
it. Watching movies is kind of our bit now.
Yeah, it is.
We have a movie list for next year. I think it's 150 movies long because Carl just went to Hammertown on it.
Oh yeah.
We got to trim that shit down. And
I want more say. I had no say in this list.
no, we need to have a meeting about it. I think we'll have a meeting about it.
We need- y'all are watching some-
over Christmas time. We're gonna watch
The
some
Other
movie
movies.
council.
I'm so
all right,
excited.
so you're a hit. We're all 4
I'm gonna give
hits.
it a hit.
You're a hit minus, but you're a hit still. Good movie. Which
But
is,
was it real or was it a dream? Did she
Ooh.
actually?
no, it was
'Cause
real.
I feel like this is
when
all her imagination.
Nope, real
No?
because when her
Okay.
and the parents walked back to the car, it was dusty because some manner of time had passed.
And she
if you
had-
notice, the path on the way in had tire marks, and on the way out, it was all grass.
Her hair tie.
And she had her hair tie, the magical hair tie on the way back. So no, not a dream, actual thing that
Alright.
happened. Pretty cool.
Not a
But the
symphony.
parents,
Thing that
but the
happened
parents
is
don't remember.
hilarious.
The parents don't remember, and it's just interesting. Like they definitely missed the moving truck by days,
By a
months, or
lot.
years. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
Dust
Well,
on the
hang
inside
on.
of the car.
It could have all happened, but time could be different there.
That's what I mean. That's what I
So,
mean. Like 2
In
days,
the real world, it could have been 2 minutes.
but it
But
would
all
have been
the
the
gra-
opposite because the
2
car had
minutes of
dust and all the
dust?
grass
Yeah, all
grew.
the-
Oh,
grass
yeah,
grew.
true.
So what was
Oh,
what was
yeah,
2
you're
days in
right.
the spirit realm could have been 3 months,
Oh, you're right.
which left me stressing about the move.
Oh my God, the movers, they're still just
Waiting,
waiting.
hoping it's time to move again.
They're not
The
going to get a
dad
refund.
probably lost his job because he didn't show up.
Oh, his new job in the new city.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah.
They'll have
He's
to
a-
move back.
He's a dad. He'll figure it out. Well, I get to pick the movie.
I wonder.
this week,
I wonder what it'll
and
be.
hilariously, go to a solo shot for effect.
That's me.
Wow, production is on it.
Wow.
Oh,
It's one movie,
there's
and
one
it's
movie.
2001: A Space Odyssey. We're out of movies.
Nice.
Guys, we made it.
Finally.
I didn't write a Space Odyssey because there's a lot, so I just wrote 2001. Could
Any movie
Any
from
movie.
2001.
Ooh,
No, we're
watching
watching
a
2001: A Space
Spider-Man?
Odyssey.
9/11
Can you
movie.
put that over there, please.
that was too early. They didn't have 9/11 movies in 2001.
Then
That's
11.
9/11 movies.
I thought we were just gonna.
They didn't have 9/11 movies.
I thought we,
It's a great day for motor car racing.
thought we just glossed past that.
No.
That's
With
my
this
favorite
group?
I did it
thing.
earlier with how you said
Pulling off
anime
as a
once.
mispronunciation.
There aren't any 9/11 movies yet.
How did I say
I
it?
don't remember, but I was like,
9/11.
I'm just going to let that one slip.
9/11 movies. Great
theater.
time for movies in the theater. It's like
They
Jackie
made
Stewart.
our tickets.
I have a hard
Our
time.
showtime.
I have a hard time with words sometimes.
Words are hard.
We're going
Words
to watch
are
a
hard.
2001:
Words are
Space
hard.
Odyssey, a movie that there's no way in hell Danielle will like.
I think there's a
Carl's
chance.
seen it. I know it is some deep sci-fi shit, right?
Woo.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's deep, like technical, but it's a very like
Thematically,
you're like,
right?
whoa, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty profound quote unquote movie. I
I've been
think.
excited for this movie all year.
There is one more movie after
tired.
this. That's it. So we have 2001, and then we're going to close off with a Christmas movie, Die Hard, which, Nick, we're going to see in the Marion Theater because they're showing it
No
all
way.
December. So we are going to see
Oh my
Die Hard
God.
in a theater.
That's great.
That'd be
What a
First
way to
time.
go out. Cameron can buy my ticket.
They're showing it like, oh, I can
With
because
his
I have
gift
a
card.
gift card. And why did I win a gift
Is there
card?
one
I
ticket
wish
left on the left of y'all?
I have a
on.
gift card because I won Star Wars trivia on May the 4th because I know the most.
Oh,
I
you know it.
it.
This
I'm
guy was
smart.
quoting the movie seconds before it was happening.
God damn it, I'm so good at Star Wars. We're getting tattooed this weekend. You and I
We
both. are. Different artists, different things. What are you getting?
Very different things. I am
So you have your
getting-
leg done. You've never shown your leg
Well, no, I wear pants on this show.
because, you know, we got to charge
Because
money
it's
for
on
that.
the internet. Yeah, join OnlyFans.
no
Let
thighs.
me know if you want me to start one.
Let's get some thigh pics.
I have really great thighs.
Wow.
It's true.
So you
Patreon
currently loosely explain your thigh sleeve. Everybody
Yes.
else is tuned out already.
40
40 minutes ago, they shut the podcast off.
a dream. No, I have a Florida tattoo on my leg.
What in the Martin Luther King Jr. was that?
It's a song from Mamma Mia the musical.
I just heard I
Inspired
have
by
a
a
dream.
I thought I said it quietly. It's a
Oh, a
song.
microphone that goes to the internet. There's cameras here. We've got lighting.
It's from a musical. David knows. David will know.
So there's someone
Let's call
else
up David.
that said I have a dream and wasn't
Yeah,
assassinated
they're
for
called ABBA. It's a band. Have you ever heard of it?
it. I have. Dancing Queen.
Yes, that same band.
I know.
I
I know who ABBA
What?
is.
He said it. Yes. What is happening?
Jesus
We're off the
Christ.
rails.
Give me a question.
Yeah, what is your tattoo and what are you adding to it?
I have a manatee tattoo.
Well, you have some greenery and shit.
It's some greenery. It's some blueberries.
Ooh.
So we're adding some more Florida.
So the blueberries was
Flora
your
and
first
fauna.
tattoo.
Yes.
Then you added more greenery.
Yes.
And then just put a manatee
Put a
in
manatee
it
there.
and pissed your original artist off.
Yeah, I did.
She was like, I'm not touching that. So now
Listen,
we're
I
going
got-
back to Manatee Girl
Yes.
to finish or
To
add.
make it to add some flow.
because you pissed your original artist off by just putting.
Well,
a
I mean, I'd
manatee.
rather go to Naomi anyway. Shout out to
Name
Naomi
drop.
Shanty.
She's here, right?
Because she's
in Ocala?
local,
Yeah.
and I really connected with her. Like, I don't know, it was a really good experience. And she does really good work.
What shop is she at?
She actually has her own like little studio, so it's I think her like Instagram is Art of Naomi Shanty.
All right.
So
Follow, get tattooed.
she's gonna do some Florida flora and fauna for me.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
love my manatee tattoo. I just got it. I placed it here where I did out of panic. I got nervous at the last minute and moved it, and now it's there forever.
Now it's there forever.
But he's so cute. I love him.
I'm getting. So I've wanted to do. Well, I wanted this tattoo first, which is why I got it first. So I knew I wanted this since I was a teenager because the Devil Wears Prada is one of my favorite bands, and it was a good test tattoo. It's a decent size and a good place. It hurt a lot, not too bad. So, but I've always wanted a Star Wars sleeve. What?
I'm just laughing at what happened 5 minutes ago.
Oh, because you quoted Martin Luther King Jr. and just tried to gloss over it? Yeah.
Yeah. Continue talking about your
I've
tattoo.
wanted to have a Star Wars sleeve forever. And I'm finally starting it because I had a dream too. But I'm getting episode 1 Queen Padme Amidala on my shoulder, and I have no idea what it's going to look like and no idea how big it's going to be because he's drawing it. So I also don't know what else I want to do with this arm. I want to do Leia somewhere, I think. So if this only goes to like here, I think I want to do
I feel like it's gonna
like
be like
middle lower bicep Leia maybe. So I kind of want to be like added
Where's
on.
Jar Jar going?
So I don't want to tattoo my inner bicep because holy shit, I'm not looking forward to how much that's gonna hurt. But if I were to get a Jar Jar tattoo,
It'd have to be
and Jake
semi-hidden.
at Mr. Jake in the Flesh on Instagram, Jake said I've never seen a good Jar Jar tattoo, and I'd love to do one. So we may
He said that
do
to
one.
the right
roll those
person.
dice.
We may
did.
do one in here.
he
'cause
really did.
You
Jake-
actually can't see
Jake
this
in the
it's live,
Flesh
but-
is a great name
yeah,
for a
'cause
tattoo
he's
artist.
a tattoo artist.
He's literally
That's my boy, man.
in the flesh.
He did David's Coheed tattoo that David got in the exact same spot as my band tattoo, like 2 weeks later.
You know,
Nick, you just got to get a dumb Switchfoot tattoo on your
no,
forearm.
Do
their
it.
logo
This
sucks.
stupid S with an
I thought
asterisk.
about it. Listen, I'm committed at this point because of your and David's experience. If I ever did a tattoo,
It's got to be here.
I'd go to Jake.
Oh, you got to go to Jake.
I don't know about here. I mean, probably there.
Jake's a good
I just
guy.
can't commit to
What I
getting
like
one.
about Jake is he talked the whole time. I was laying down on the shitty tattoo thing with a shitty wrapped pillow under my head and just scrolling through Instagram at 1,000 miles an hour because I couldn't
Just not
focus
looking
on
at anything.
And it really wasn't that bad. What sucked about this is it's so small that my brain never really had time to get used to it because he would do a line and then stop and then do another line and then stop. So there was no like long shading.
It's just constant pain.
Well, I almost would have preferred it if it was more constant, which is why I'm a little less scared to go in here because it's going to be quite a bit larger, and I'm going to have more time in the chair to hopefully get attuned to it. Which you said that's the case for at least the first 2 hours, and then you're bummed out.
Yeah, I got
after a
bummed
while.
out.
You just got to do what those, was it football players? Some football players.
Oh yeah,
do?
yeah. There's a thing where you go like there's NBA and NFL players who go to this shop. I don't know what it's called. I think it's in Florida, like in Fort Lauderdale.
It
There you
will be
go.
in
Miami
Florida.
or Miami or something. And they put you under anesthesia and just do a back piece. It's like 4 artists.
I would let someone put me to sleep.
No,
with
this
tattoo.
is like I'm imagining 5 figures worth of tattoo.
I would not do that.
Because and what sucks is it's 4 artists doing it, so it looks a little squee wow because you don't have one
Oh,
consistent.
it's not consistent.
Yeah, which Tim the Tapman, a streamer that I watch online, he got his hands done. And I don't remember. I think it says Game Over or something. And it's in very
Fortnite.
I
Dumb.
thought it said Fortnite initially. I think it says Game Over. Very heavily stylized lettering. But he got both hands done at the same time by 2 different artists. So he just sat in a chair like this. And he says there are slight differences. Now, they were stenciled, but there are slight differences in the little serifs and the letters and stuff that he can tell that it was 2 different people doing it. And I imagine that, if you're getting a big lion head and everybody's got a quadrant, it's gonna look a little goofy. And also, if you don't sit
derpy.
in the chair and kind of earn your tattoo, the general consensus is you're a bitch and you don't deserve it.
And you can't go to a Japanese bathhouse.
Yeah, neither of you and I, if we went to Japan, we could not go in a bathhouse because tattoos are taboo and they're not allowed
nice.
to be seen in Japan. So
I could get
go.
right in.
I could
guys
go.
could
Let's go, Carl.
Yeah.
we'll be at the bar sitting on the floor, which is what they do.
Yeah.
I watched a thing on Netflix about some series about living longer, and it seemed to
Zac Efron.
Nope, a different one. It seemed to generally be kind of
got it.
like edge case bullshit. But you know, whatever makes you feel better. And one of them that I think the one thing I watched 2 episodes, the one thing from the 2 hours I watched that seemed like maybe this is real, is old people in Japan tend to be more mobile because their furniture is all on or very low to the ground, so they spend more time getting up and down. Whereas we have, you know, very high furniture by comparison. You know, they sleep on the ground, man. You got to get up. You sleep on the ground. You know how it is.
No, I finally bought a bed frame.
Oh, you bought a bed frame.
Yeah, it's so good. It's still too low.
You gave in.
Carl sleeps on the ground.
Oh, just think of your health
No, it's just a
when
low
you're getting up.
That's true.
bed frame.
Is it a frame?
Yeah, it's just low.
I rescind my remarks. I apologize.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't do a lot of things right as an adult, but I do have a bed frame. Look,
Well, now you pay a
for your cat.
fee like a
don't
responsible
remind
adult.
me. Oh my god.
Hey, Carl. I'm a toothpick guy now because of
Nice.
you, and I really.
Did you get the Danesons, or are you gonna?
No, I did
keep...
the preserve ones, which is I think what you did before. The ones that are so minty.
Yeah.
they
The
hurt.
gateway.
They kind of, yeah, it's like menthol. It like burns your lip a little
They
bit.
hurt. It's mint and green
You
tea.
earn a toothpick with that.
I have 3 of these. I wanted to kind of prove to myself I'll do it before I spend like $150 on Danisons. But I had a toothpick in for 5 hours today.
Whoa.
That's a long time.
I'm kind of
I
digging
can't
it.
believe
Does
you
it
made
still
one of
taste-
those last because they splinter for me.
It still lasted. It still tasted a bit. Like, so it's interesting because it burns your lip for a while and then it kind of goes. And then after a bit, you move it to the other side of your mouth and you're like, oh, it burns again. This is awesome. So, no, I really like it. I found that I'm less fidgety for my coworkers that yell at me for like tapping my feet and banging my desk.
No.
Because I'm gnawing on this. And they do splinter a little
Wait,
bit.
so you are chewing, you're not just letting it rest?
Quite a bit.
can't
No, I'm
make
not
it last
constantly
that long
chewing
if
it,
it's-
but yeah.
Okay.
There's
So,
an
no.
art.
When I run into this, I think I'm gonna go to Danesons because what I'm most interested in about Danesons is they're thicker. They're more substantial.
They're thicker, but the flavors are not nearly as like pronounced as in those. Like they're
And they
a lot
come in
more
the glass
subtle.
vial, and I want the glass vial.
Wow.
All right,
I'm-
we've probably been going for 100,000 years, and I like shooting the shit, but we got lives to live, and it's 9:32 p.m.
The beans are hungry.
Wow.
The beans are hungry. I want to go watch more Anthony Bourdain and have another gin and tonic and put a toothpick in my mouth. So I think we're gonna bid the adieu. We're gonna watch 2001. I have no idea how long the runtime is. I didn't look it up. Carl, do you remember? 3 hours?
I feel like it's 2.5 probably.
Great.
It was fine. And then we're going to watch
I
Die
have
Hard in
no
theaters.
idea.
And dude, we're almost done. We've
excited.
done a podcast for almost a year. In fact,
Almost
at
a
this
year.
point last year, we had the idea.
Yeah, I just got the email saying that our domain was going to renew.
Almost a year ago, I accidentally made a double paper plane, and we sat right here is where my desk was, right where I'm
true.
sitting because I moved the desks. And the 4 of us sat in a Discord call for 3 hours and tried to think of a name for the podcast before we landed on the big room. And what was the tits one?
The Big,
Big
Tits,
Tits
podcast.
Big Tits
Wow.
podcast was one that was
Sound of
hilarious.
Movie.
The Sound of Movie.
Sound of Movie. I really wanted to do, but it had been done, and
So
that doesn't
annoying.
give
It's
you a lot
low-hanging
of
fruit.
That doesn't give you a lot of flexibility for
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, thanks for listening to the big room. If you made it this far, follow us on TikTok and all the things. Get in Discord so we can hang out and talk about. We've just been talking about Harmontown. It's probably really annoying. And maybe you can play video games with us if you catch us at the right time in Discord. So
true.
we're going to watch 2001 A Space Odyssey, and we'll catch you in the next one.